Do you want to improve your English, but you don't have anyone to practice with? Don't worry, you're not alone. And that's actually not a problem. Today, I'm going to teach you 3 very powerful techniques you can use by yourself. You don't need a partner. These techniques will help improve your speaking, listening, and vocabulary. Are you ready? Let's go. My name is Ryan, and thank you for joining me today. First, let's talk about one of the most powerful things I think you can do by yourself to improve your English: active listening. Active listening is really simple. Basically, you're listening to an audio or watching a video and trying to understand what the speaker is saying. The reason this is so powerful is because you get used to the sounds and the different rhythms you hear in English. I use active listening myself, and I recommend that you do active listening in 3 steps. The first step is to just listen. Find a good, high-quality English audio and listen. I also recommend that you use either headphones or earbuds to really focus on the audio. Second, listen again, but this time try to write a short summary after the audio. And finally, the third step is to listen and try to understand every word that the speaker is saying. If you can, write down every single word. And that's active listening. I'll put some resources in the description below for every level of English learner. Even if you're a beginner level learner, you can use active listening to improve your English. Another amazing tool you can use by yourself is shadowing. Shadowing is essentially active listening part 2. Here's what you do. Again, you find a high quality audio or a good video, and you practice listening and repeating immediately after the speaker. Listen, repeat. Listen, repeat. Shadowing is great because you're actually speaking English. You can start to gain confidence and fluency by yourself. Again, you don't need a partner. I will put lots of cool resources in the description below, but I also have several videos on my channel where I talk more about shadowing and give you actual shadowing exercises you can do. I'll put links to those videos here. Here's the final thing you can do to practice English by yourself. You're going to record yourself speaking English. What are you going to record yourself saying? You're going to practice words and phrases that you didn't know, that you learned, right? While you practice either active listening or shadowing or both. Now, here's why this is so cool. You're going to be using these words and phrases in ways that natural English speakers would use them. However, it's important that you're checking your pronunciation, right? To do that, I really recommend a site called Youglish. I've talked about Youglish before, so I'll put a link to that video here. By using Youglish, you're going to make sure that your pronunciation is close to or the same as a native English speaker. Another really cool thing about Youglish is that you'll get even more examples of these words and phrases that you're trying to practice. For example, let's say one of the new words I'm working on is rhythm. I might search rhythm on Youglish and get an example like, the first time I heard that rhythm, I was blown away. That's why Youglish is so cool. So you don't have to do all 3 of those things to practice English, but I actually recommend that you do, and that you do them in that order. First active listening, then shadowing, then recording yourself. You don't have to follow that structure, but I really recommend you use some of these techniques. Again, what is the goal? The goal is to improve your English by yourself. Using these 3 techniques, you can definitely improve your English without a partner. I really hope those 3 techniques help you reach your goals. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions. Also, feel free to comment with other techniques that you think English language learners should know. Take care, and I'll see you again soon.